Good morning, American Jiu-Jitsu. We are here at American Jiu-Jitsu Centers. We are making a videotape similar to one that we already made. Let me explain. First of all, I want to thank Kathy and Billy for being here. They're constantly assisting me with the making of these videos and the possibility of even presenting them to you, because it's hard to do this by yourself. We try to keep that same social distancing rules still in place. I'm kind of quarantined, they're kind of quarantined, and we keep that social distancing practice. As for these tapes, you can go to our Facebook group page at American Jiu-Jitsu LI. We are also the same tag on YouTube, and our email is americanjiujitsuli@gmail.com. If you want to go to our virtual training, which we have 4 to 5 times a day, it's at ajjcenters.com. You'll get all the Zoom codes there, and you get a password by either reaching out to one of our students or to email me at americanjiujitsuli@gmail.com and identify yourself, and I will give you that password. So what we've done so far is we've made videotapes that went from white belt all the way up to 4th degree black belt, which is a junior master level. Those tapes are very much review tapes for students that are within the American Jiu-Jitsu system. We decided to go back a little bit and make more of a training tape on specific techniques instead of just reviewing them. So these are tapes that are viewable for people who are actually not part of our system. You can't ask tapes rather you can't ask questions to the tape. So if you have a question, you're more than welcome to email me. If you don't understand something, don't condemn it, don't hate it, don't be a hater. If you don't understand something, that's what martial arts is all about. It's about learning it. Always remember that first time when Koto Gaeshi was in the UFC and pulled off what they call a Juji Katami, or that armbar that a lot of you have seen. Everybody was like, oh, that's nonsense, that's ridiculous, until they got that armbar snapped on them. Always remember something in life. I've been doing this for 51 years. I'm a 9th degree black belt. And whenever I see something I don't understand, instead of saying I don't believe that, I say I need to learn about that. And that's what I really believe you need to do. This technique we're going to be demonstrating today is called the Koto Gaeshi, and it doesn't make a lot of sense if you're not a martial artist. We're just taking the wrist, turning it in a position that it was not meant to go, and then tearing up those ligaments and nerves, and it really restrains somebody in a very, very quick fashion. This is an interesting technique because besides submitting the person, this technique makes the person end up on the ground. So it's a very good technique. And you know, a lot of controversy with choking and all this kind of stuff. And you know, I believe that you got to defend yourself in a situation. You'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. But there are a lot of other ways of submitting somebody that isn't only choking. And we're going to get to choking in a couple of tapes from now that we're going to go a little bit more specific on that. So today we're going to work on Koto Gaeshi. We actually introduced Koto Gaeshi on the last tape that I just made. These techniques today, the next 2 tapes, are going to be from grabs. Now, when teaching it from grabs, our system is a combative system, and it's also a street situation. So we try to teach more from a situational scenario versus somewhat of a concept. In other words, with Koto Gaeshi, in a grab, it has to go to a corner. Koto Gaeshi can't be done right from here. So you either got to go to a front corner, a rear corner, or a rear corner. And in our art, that's called the Tazabaki. We talk about that on some of the older tapes at Yellow Belt. So what we're going to do on the cross wrist grab is we're going to go to the left front corner. With the lapel grab. We're going to go to the left front corner. With the cross wrist grab, actually I'm saying that backwards. We're going to go to my left, then we're going to go to my right front corner. And then we have a 2-hand grab from the back. We're going to go to my right corner, and then we're going to go from a front finger choke to my left corner. So what that means is, even though I'm being specific and saying go to this corner, go to this corner, go to this corner, go to this corner, the reality is these techniques can go to any one of those 4 corners, but I use the techniques that I'm using or teaching to show you how they need to go to a front corner. But the technique that goes here can go to any one of the 4 corners. The technique that goes here can go to any one of the 4 corners. The front finger choke, same thing. And I'll talk about that along the way as we're doing these techniques. So, technique is called Koto Gaeshi, which means leaf hand in English, Japanese English. We're going to demonstrate this from 4 techniques right now that go to each one of the corners, all right, to show you that it has to go to specifically to our corner, not necessarily the corner we're teaching, but we use this as a reference. And from there, we'll move on to another tape with more self-defense techniques that I'll explain to you when we get to that. All right, so with that being said, I hope you're all healthy and safe. Let's get some content so we keep the mind going and keep our art training. So let's look at that. So the first one is a grab from a lapel grab. Now, normally when a person grabs you from a lapel grab, they want to pull you in, all right? But it's possible for Kathy to grab with a lapel grab and push him back. But we'll address that in another technique. You notice how immediately he went to a different corner. What we're doing is going to the most likely scenario. But like I said to you, that every one of these techniques can go to any one of the 4 corners. We're just giving each one a corner to teach it to you. So what happens here is as Billy gets pulled in, notice he takes his left hand, gets the 3 fingers, grabs it around the person's thumb, puts the other hand on the top, leaves it over the top, and that's where the pain comes in. All right, let's do that one more time without the fall. Bring it a little closer. So from here, he brings it over. Even if he didn't peel it, even if the person kept the grab on, he can still do this technique. It's a little hard to see, that's why we take it off. And take it off. Yep. All right? So notice here, now stop right here. He's got the 3 fingers based here. He's got this back by the last 2 knuckles and that right on the hand. All he has to do now, because she's already off balance, is press down and the pain is going to drive her down. He's doing it in a very conscious way as not to hurt her. But he can do it in a very not conscious way and do extreme risks. I've had situations where I've seen people's literally hand just rip apart with these type techniques. And you're gonna need some plates and screws to make it all better. So always remember that when you're watching our videotape, please don't just assume that this, it looks so simple that it looks like it can't hurt somebody until you do. Always remember that watching our videotapes should not just give you a free-for-all to say, hey, sister, hey, brother, let me just turn your wrist like this. We're doing this for contents. When you want to really try these things out, you want to see how they work. When we reopen up, you guys will be the first to know, and we'll be glad to explain them. So please watch these things cautiously and be safe if you're executing it, and only execute it with a person who actually knows how to fall, because a person will hit the ground a lot faster than you think. So one more time, he grabs, he peels it off from here, presses down, and she goes right down. Now, with a cross wrist grab, we're going to deal with another corner. So it's the same technique, but from here, as she pulls, he takes that palm, he drives it. Now notice he's going to his right front corner. He peels that hand and just, drives her down, and there's that same technique, Koto Gaeshi. All right? So it works very, very nicely. We'll review them all in a second. Let's go through all of them. Now, with a 2-hand wrist grab, the reason why I chose this one as the next one, because it shows you another one of the corners. So from here, as he moves, okay, from here, he steps back with the right leg. There, see, now he's on the right rear corner, and just takes that wrist, turns it, twists the wrist, and boom, she goes right down. Okay, so you notice how he demonstrated another corner. Now this is interesting with the front finger choke, because in the front finger choke, the ones that we've taught up till now, is we're always very strict about saying don't move your legs. It's like a person is trying to choke you and your back is to a wall. We don't want you to move your legs because we don't want to fall off balance. But we always tell you that give yourself a little bit of time, because you're going to learn how to deal with when that person's coming into a choke and they are moving you forward. So in this case, as they move Billy forward, from here again, he peels that hand right off. He hit her with a little bit of a spare hand to the throat to cancel out that free hand, takes it and just twists that wrist right down. And notice he went back to the left foot corner. So let's, in conclusion, look at those techniques one more time and notice the corners it's going to. So the first one, he's going to his left front corner. Beautiful, there's the technique right there. The next one, he's going to his right front corner with that palm low, boom, and brings her down. 2 hands from the rear, he's going to go to his right rear corner. Bang, here, and step. Good, and the last one, the front finger choke, he's going to go to his left front corner. Yeah, beautiful technique. So understand something, a lot of times, even sometimes my students say, well, Sensei, I feel more comfortable going to this corner, or I feel more comfortable going to this corner. Wonderful. I really don't care what corner you feel like going to. When I'm teaching it to you, I want you to be specific to how I teach it. But the reality is, of course, you can go to any one of the 4 corners. But you got to have structure before you allow for freedom, okay? Because think about it. If you don't learn the alphabets first, if you don't learn how to spell words, you're not going to be able to make sentences and eventually write stories. So we're a little strict on following the guidelines of the system to learn the system. But if you're watching this video and you say, hey, I figured I can go to this corner, that corner, this corner, I don't like it because they're going to that corner, you're just an idiot, okay? We're just trying to explain to you that we put a specific corner on it so you can learn each one of the 4 corners, and obviously we realize you can go to any one of the 4 corners. It's like life. You gotta learn it one way, and then when you learn it another way, you can develop your own options, and that's a wonderful thing. We're just waiting for you, man, and we're waiting for the mayor, we're waiting for the people to say, open up. We're hopeful, and we're excited, we're ready. The place is all up to par between social distancing and shielding. We're ready and disinfected. So the only thing we're missing is you. So we hope you're staying healthy. We hope you're staying safe. We hope you're getting out, because you're allowed to get out now. And we want to thank Kathy and Billy again for making the video with me. And we'll see you on the next video. The next video will be a couple more self-defense techniques. And remember, that's Koto Gaeshi, the leaf hand, the turning of the wrist. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. AJJCenters.com, our website, American Jiu-Jitsu LI, Facebook, YouTube, and Gmail account. Go to them, check us out. Any questions, just Gmail me. Thank you, great. Have a good day.